Yes, a weekend full of matchups crucial to the makeup of the top 8. We have a contest tonight that in 6 weeks might be the seminal result for these sides. It's North Queensland and Parramatta, and the similarities are all over the place. They started the season slowly, the pair of them. In fact, both were as low as 16th on the ladder at some point. But they've climbed the ladder in recent weeks. The Cowboys 10 wins, 8 losses. Parramatta 10 wins, 8 losses. Winner tonight takes a big step towards perhaps challenging for the top 4, especially with Melbourne just losing. And Michael Ennis, as I say hello to you, this has been one of the hottest sides in the competition, which is quite remarkable considering how effective they've been by Origin.
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. It's been a wonderful run over the last couple of weeks for the Cowboys, particularly defensively, starting to get that resolve that carried them towards that prelim final and only minutes away from a grand final last season, which would please Todd Payten up against one of last year's grand finalists who themselves, after starting the season with only 1 win from their opening 5 games, boy, have they found some form on the back of Clint Gutherson and Mitch Moses, who starred in Game 3 for New South Wales. And tonight, Wonga Blake comes into the side. No Mike Acevo, Regan Campbell-Gillard, plenty of talk about his suspension during the week. Gutherson laying down the law. They know how important this game is tonight.
Well, last time they were here, they did the job. It was the prelim final, of course. They gutsed it out, backs against the wall for much of that contest, but they found a way to win. The North Queensland Cowboys, one of the best home records in the competition this year, 7 wins and 2 losses. 6 players, if you include the 18th man, Tom Dearden, for Queensland. 6 involved in the Queensland and New South Wales sides.
And how important was it for them, given the fact that they were so down on confidence? Billy Slater showed great faith in them as we see Parramatta out onto the field. And for the Cowboys, going into that Queensland environment, winning the Origin Series, have brought so much confidence back. Speaking of confidence, the star halfback, Mitch Moses, ejected straight into that number 7 jersey for New South Wales with the injury to Nathan Cleary, and starred for New South Wales. Thought he was absolutely tremendous for them. Comes here full of confidence tonight.
Much more relaxing coming up here this time. Last time, of course, his partner was giving birth. Right. He made the decision to stay up here for the prelim final. Now, this is a big moment because Jake Granville, a legend up here, plays his 200th game. 2015 Premiership player. There's his wife Zoe and his kids. They love him here, heart and soul for North Queensland. And that's a great... Having Kootler there, quick to pat him on the back, a long-time teammate, and a well-deserved honour. He's been great this year as a middle forward, changing roles. Reece Robson, an 80-minute dummy half, but he'll go back to the bench. But if the rest of the season is any indication, he'll certainly make an impact. And what about that? Jason Taumalolo is coming off the bench.
Who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought, as we see Scott Drinkwater, what form the fullback has been in again. Included in that New South Wales squad throughout the Origin Series, he has been in electric form. Electric form he has been. 21 try assists, 27 line break assists. The battle tonight between him and Gutherson will be brilliant.
2 of the hottest fullbacks in the game, their form electric. Put the remote down. It might be raining in the north of England. It ain't raining here in the north of Australia. It's the Cowboys and the Eels, 9th versus 7th. A lot on the line, and off we go. Good crowd as usual on a beautiful night in Townsville. And off a Hiki Ogden, driven back by this Cowboys defence. Cohen Hess in the front row these days. And Sean Lane has played precious little football this year. And that's the 10-metre line. Parramatta, they escaped last week against the Gold Coast. Clint Gutherson's try at the death and then the late field goal, giving them their 10th win of the year. Barlaw, hammered. Cowboys in their defensive groove nice and early. And then a tough run here from Gutherson. Gets them close to the 40. So in the end, not a bad set from Parramatta. Moses. Lots of time to set himself. And he's one of those Origin players, Murray Taulagi.
A chance for Parramatta to return serve. What a defensive start for the Cowboys. Compressing up their line, Parramatta reasonably conservative, one out through the middle. And a couple of great shots from Queensland Origin back rower Jeremiah and Nate.
Semi Valame was the man who hit it up. He's been pretty good, very good for the Cowboys. Of course, the former Canberra Raider. Peta Hiku there. And now they go through the forwards with that man Nane. And Jordan McLean, the veteran prop, gets it to the halfway line. So a solid opening set from them, and it's Chad Townsend. He just goes conservative with his kick. And as Gutherson brings it back, we send it down to Brent Tate on the sideline. Hello, Tatey.
G'day, Dan. G'day, Mick. Absolutely beautiful conditions here in North Queensland. And for the second time, the sold-out sign has gone up. Absolutely vibing up here in North Queensland. And why wouldn't they want to come with their team, winning 5 on the trot and in great form up against the Parramatta Eels, who have been in great form? And what about the matchup between the two fullbacks, lads? Price of admission alone, absolutely outstanding game tonight.
Indeed. I'll tell you what, these fans here, they've mastered the art of getting here right on kickoff. They've worked out how long it takes to walk from the city, because it was half full, this ground only a few minutes ago, but here we are, and that's Bailey Simonson collected, and Moses under a little pressure putting that one up, but it's all punch forward there by Penasini. Wrong sport. And now Drinkwater is bringing it back. So Parramatta's, and now they're going to bring it out to the knock-on. So Grant Atkins there.
Yeah, really nice tackle on the far side on Bailey Simonson from Peta Hiku throughout that set, and great pressure. Townsend taking time away from the Moses kicking game, which is absolutely vital for Parramatta.
Yeah, the Eels 4-4 on the road, so pretty good away record. This would be a big scalp, though, a very big scalp if they could knock off the Cowboys. That is an awesome bench.
I think that might be the difference tonight, Dan. Having Taumalolo there, Fini Fuiaki, who has been an absolute weapon, Griffin Neiman, the 200 gamer, Jake Granville is Leilua.
He's been tremendous since coming back, Leilua. Hard to put down here. 39 away. Dearden, as good as any of the Cowboys. Oh, he dummies, and he cuts them open. He got past Azzy, then links up with Hiku. They're on their way. Oh, what a start. Tom Dearden, he's got them mesmerised. And a little celebration from Peta Hiku. Cowboys get one early.
Yeah, little Tommy Dearden starting to dictate terms, and Sean Lane's going to be really disappointed when he sees this on replay as Dearden starts to skip across the ground. He's scheming, probing, he's looking for a hole in the defensive line, and Lane just grabbing, throwing the arms out. Well, Dearden accelerated straight on the outside of him, found Peta Hiku. And the Cowboys, an energetic start, they're on the board early. Watch this, skips across, left foot, gets on the outside there of Lane. Disappointing effort there from the Parramatta back rower. And Peta Hiku strolls over untouched. The Cowboys 4-0.
You know, this man, Tom Dearden, is just 22.
So good.
And you talked about some of the players this year gaining confidence from playing Origin. Origin 3 last year, and Tom Dearden's role. He was on his way anyway, obviously, but it instantly has taken him to this terrific level.
Dan, he looks suffocated under the bright lights of the big Brisbane club, the expectations of that number 7 jersey that Alan Langer once held, and the comparisons. It has been a great move north, out of the spotlight, surrounded himself on the outside of a very experienced, great controlling half in Chad Townsend, with a wonderful pack around him. His confidence just continues to grow every week.
Now Val Holmes guiding it through. So, Cowboys ahead of the clock early. North Queensland 6, Parramatta 0. Brent Tate.
Yeah, Dan, you can put that down to the Cowboys forwards. They've started with some real intent, both with the ball and without the ball. We've seen a couple of big hits already, and just the way they've carried the ball. Luciano Leilua really taking the line on, and that man, Tommy Dearden, and plenty of credit goes to him, but also the coaching staff up here. Todd Payton's done a wonderful job giving him the confidence that he's got and growing him into the player he is today. What a standout player he is.
I don't think we've seen that celebration before. I think that'll get $5,000 for try July. Peta Hiku off to the Super League. Been very good at the NRL, approaching 200 games. But that try, all Tom Dearden. So, test here for Parramatta conceding a try in the first 5 minutes.
Seen my daughter do that move to her older brothers. No, she gets away with it.
Ruben Cotter, well dealt with here. Leilua.
It's been a telling sign, hasn't it? The Cowboys, when they had injuries to start the season to Hill and Lukey, no Jeremiah Nene, as we see an error now, and the suspension to Luciano Leilua. But once those guys have become available in the back row, they've been a completely different side, the Cowboys.
Just when the Cowboys were rolling here and really had Parramatta reeling, the tackle of Cartwright jolting the ball free there. Holmes putting it down. So this is a nice little opportunity for the visitors just to settle things down. It's not as if they're short of point scoring ability. Number 2 in the NRL, only Cronulla has scored more points this year coming into this week. And it's the impressive Bailey Simonson with plenty of room to work with. Almost to the 20. It's Brendan Hands waiting, but referee there telling Bailey Simonson he was milking. Azzy, nervous little moment from the former Cowboy. That's okay though. Barlaw takes it and knocked back. Been terrific, Azzy, for Parramatta in place of the suspended Dylan Brown. Hopgood to the 20. Not much punch here from Parramatta in these early tackles, but now Barlaw gets them going, and it takes 3 to stop him. Hands looking to the right. Hopgood with the bobble. Keeps it going. Now the switch from Moses. Azzy got inside Nene, but not past Drinkwater or McLean. Last tackle. Moses to Gutherson. The quick hands. Oh, and almost clean bowls Blake, and he's gone. Just a little off there, Parramatta, and the Cowboys too good.
Yeah, pretty ordinary attacking set from what we've seen from Parramatta this year. Couple of balls going to ground in the humid conditions, sweat playing a factor. And Moses this time just digging into the line. Gutherson unable to land the pass. And then it became a little messy for Wonga Blake. Boy, just watching the Cowboys defensive line. And with Reece Robson and Ruben Cotter together, they're like wild hunting dogs, the way they move through the middle.
Going here. Yeah. Oh, that's a strong run, bowling over Moses. Then it's Robson. Away to Townsend. Hiku is on the chase. Blake turned around just in time, but he's put his head on the line. That is perfect for North Queensland.
Brilliant. Great experience. Great control and composure from Townsend. Here's the run from Hess. Whooshka straight over the top. That forearm went a little close to the head there of Moses. We know there's been a directive from up above about the bumper bars, and Wonga Blake just getting back. Great kick from Townsend in behind Blake and Gutherson. And it was his head, in fact, that slid over the touchline, and a great result for North Queensland.
Nothing he could do, was there, Wonga Blake? No. So the Cowboys here, this is a relentless opening. Really, it's perfect, apart from the Holmes knock on. It's been just about unstoppable. Looking for their second try, Robson. And Gutherson trying to rip that out. They open up the right side. And it goes to Dearden. This time he passes. Townsend in for Nene. Such a noted try scorer, but there were defenders there all over him. Robson for Dearden. Dearden for Drinkwater. Here we go. And almost through. Another tidy tackle from Cartwright. Not the greatest play the ball of all time. So Parramatta are at fault there, according to Grant Atkins. There's no doubt Drinkwater wasn't exactly square, but Parramatta are the ones that concede. So more pressure coming. They're in no mood to take 2 points here and take their foot off the throats of this Parramatta side at the moment. So another test for the Eels. McLean the decoy. Townsend on. Oh, Leilua just couldn't get it around the corner. That's Moses that came up with the tackle. Townsend Now along to Drinkwater. The floater, Blake, jammed in, and it's all over. Semi Valamay gets another one. First for the night. North Queensland on song. 10 points in 10.5 minutes.
Yeah, sit back and enjoy this. One of the great ball players of our game. Scott Drinkwater in a rich vein of form. And it's Townsend going deep into the line, finds Drinkwater sweeping out the back, sees Blake caught infield jamming. He eats those for breakfast, Drinkwater. That was easy. As soon as he saw the movements of Valamay, of Wonga Blake up in the line and some space on the outside for Valamay, just lofts the ball over the top, lands it perfectly on his chest. Drinkwater in fine form. Beautiful vision, great execution. And Valamay now, 6 games, 6 tries. What a mid-season signing he has been for the Cowboys. Keeping out Kyle Felt.
That's it.
Unbelievable.
That's it. And also, he's been tremendous in terms of his ball running as well. But finishes off that one. It was interesting. The coach, Todd Payton, a couple of weeks ago, talked about Scott Drinkwater and his improvement.
Yeah.
And he just said basically he took the gunslinging out.
Yep.
He's kept the good and taken out the bad. And of course, he's always had this ability, hasn't he, Mick? But my word, it's
well, when you look at the Cowboys side, you've got such a tenacious dummy half who is still building his creativity in his game at the top level, but all effort. And then you go Townsend, who's the controller and the conductor. Dearden, who's that real electric ball runner who can scheme and set up tries like we saw for Hiku. You need someone like Drinkwater, someone who's willing to roll the dice. Someone that's holding twos and says he's got pocket aces.
So Holmes, this is his spot. 8 from 11 from the right sideline.
Oh, yeah.
Make it 9 from 12. You were waiting for the curse there, weren't you? 12 points to nil, the Cowboys.
Mick and Dan, that man, Scotty Drinkwater, as we see him throw the pass there, what an option he is. He can run the ball. He's got a great option with that pass. His form the last 5 weeks has been absolutely sublime. And just looking at the Cowboys, everything they're doing is plenty of intent, the way they're carrying the ball, the way their lead runners and dummy runners are going through. There's just plenty of intent about everything they're doing. And on the other hand, Parramatta look really tired, just a little bit off the pace. They'll need to turn that around pretty quickly because this Cowboys team look like they mean business.
Thank you, Tatey. Good observation there. 1 try assist last night for Sean Johnson. Took him from 21 to 22, and now Drinkwater has returned serve. And threatening to do a whole lot more. So this is a real test now for Parramatta on the back foot from the get-go. Now there's an opening.
That's 2 sets now after points where they've turned the ball over. Holmes after the Petahiku try, and now big Jordan McLean after Semi Valamay try only moments ago. You'll be disappointed with that, the experience of Jordan McLean, and just a simple ruck error.
Okay.
Hard to see a knock on there.
Maybe you at home watching this on 4K could see that nice and clear. But an opportunity nonetheless, and obviously could have challenged at the Cowboys, but no interest in doing that. Simonson takes on Townsend, who holds on with Hess coming in to finish it. So the second time they've been down here. Hopgood with an extra tackle coming. Moses Gutherson, beautiful hands, and it's Russell getting over. Well, hello, Parramatta hit back. They needed to score next. They've done just that, and it was oh so effortless.
Yeah, beautiful work here. Great catch and pass from Moses and Clint Gutherson combining together down their right-hand side of the field. Gutherson, a little worse for wear here.
Well, let's see what's happened if he's copped a shot late, and if there's anything to worry about.
Well, they were jamming in hard, and it's Taulangi who just can't hold his nerve, which left the space on the outside for Sean Russell, who is proving himself as a very good finisher at the top level. Great work there from Moses. Good catch and pass. Taulangi it was with the contact on Gutherson. Didn't look like there was anything untoward in it. Jams in hard. No, hits him smack in the ribs. That's fine.
Bit of dry reaching going on from Gutherson, and
they'll be disappointed, the Cowboys players and their coaching staff, just given how dominant they've been in the first 14 minutes of the game. and just presenting Parramatta, who, as you said, Dick, one of the great attacking sides in our competition. You just cannot give Moses and Gutherson just cheap opportunities like they have done with incompleted sets after points.
Well, this is threatening to be a points fest. 3 tries in 15 minutes. Yeah, Gutherson, he seems okay now. He's really struggling there, even after we started that with that replay. No good the kick from Moses, but Parramatta score 12 points to 4.
Mick and Dan, just how important has that ball playing middle forward become? We can see Jermaine Hobgood take the ball to the line. Just great skill, just puts the ball out in front and just gets them on the outside a little bit quicker. And as you said, Mick, you can't give Gutherson and Moses too many opportunities, and Parramatta needed that. Good shot of confidence for them.
So their second chance. Thank you, Tatey.
In recent games, Dan, you think back to that Melbourne Storm game, 45 points, the Tigers 74. You're right, we might see some points here.
Stay behind.
Cowboys had only conceded 3 tries in the last 3 games, but this is a good attack they're up against tonight. Ogden. A big contributor in terms of metres when he's filled in for Barlaw or Campbell Gillard. Second meeting this year. Oh, Barlaw puts it down. Oh, you can't do that. Now the Cowboys get to set up shop inside the 20.
You see the sweat coming off Junior. Like it is so humid up in Townsville at this time of year. And just slipping out of the fingertips there of big Junior Barlaw, well out in front, the pass from hands. And both sides really struggling to hold on to the footy at the moment. See the sweat just dripping off the big fella.
So you can see Dearden on the left here. Townsend feeding. Robson breaking. It's Drinkwater. Takes on Azzy. Hiku, the first try scorer. Cotter. Working it to the middle. Hopgood. And Parlour there. Patient, the Cowboys. Dearden rushing up Moses. So nice job cutting that off, and the ref just getting a little bit of latitude. Moses slow off there with McLean now. Robson goes to the front man. Not fallen for. Hopgood bringing Cohen Hess down. Last tackle. And it comes now. It's a little left foot kick, brilliantly cut off by Azzy, standing his ground. That was good defence that time from Parramatta.
Yeah, take a lot of confidence from that, the Parramatta side. Plenty of shape thrown at them there defensively, and it was Dejan Azzy there at the back end of the set, able to get his boot to the ball as Wonga Blake hit strong there again from Nene. Parramatta doing it tough now to get out of their own half.
Oh, they're threatening to offload. Only seen the one offload in the first 18 minutes. It was from Parramatta. These are humid conditions. A little challenging in terms of getting away clean ball as now Drinkwater spotted just a little opening. Closed in time.
It's the one difference between the two sides, that if it becomes a yardage battle, as we see a penalty now, Parramatta offside, that long kicking game of Mitch Moses, it can turn an ordinary set into a good set when he launches that 50 and 60 metres downfield. That time Parramatta really struggled to get back over the 40-metre line. And Mitch off that right boot just rifles it back down. Well inside and towards the try line of the Cowboys. Cowboys now, though, on the back of a penalty, Dan. More good field position. Griffin Neem onto the field too now.
Certainly don't lose anything there, do they? So 60% of the game has been in this half of the field. There is the young Tyro, the young Kiwi. Cohen Hess moved to the front row around round 7. Seems to have found a home there. But playing much of his career on the edge. Neem, early ball, Dearden. Nano this time gets inside Moses and slips the pass. And a nice tackle with Ogden bringing down Dearden. Here comes Townsend having a run. That gets them to this last tackle. It's Dearden this time. Nursing that into the in goal. It's a contest. How long he's not sure.
Are you okay with you? Murray grounding.
He might have just
I
got
think
this.
he goes back. I'm going to give it here.
So he's given a try, suggesting that Russell has knocked it backwards and Taulagi has grounded it.
Yeah, I think the first contact, I think Grant Atkins is right. I think it does get knocked back here by Sean Russell. Beautiful kick from Dearden, stepping up with Townsend playing the footy. Down that left-hand short side, dribbles the ball in behind. There's the knock there from Russell.
Oh, good luck, bunker.
Yeah,
Good luck, bunker.
He doesn't know. I think it'd be hard to give try. I think there may be a knock on here.
You would think. You would think.
Russell, left hand, misses there, and then off the forearm into the ground without being grounded.
It seems so logical, Michael.
But we are talking. Yeah.
Time off.
How dare you doubt
under
them?
review.
How dare you doubt them?
For grounding.
Murray, you know what the giveaway was? Murray Taulagi.
Yes, he needed to do the he needed to say that's
Ball's
try.
originally touched backwards here from Parramatta, restarting the tackle count.
He built some credit
It's the
points though for
chest
the
of
next
Murray
time.
Taulagi. You just need to look at the left arm, see if there's contact before he grounds the ball.
Well, it's not dead yet. Normally, once obviously it goes to the referee, it gets overturned. But
After hitting the chest, it now hits the forearm and contacts the ground, which is a knock-on. We have a decision.
what is unlucky for Taulagi is it's a 20-metre tap and a 7-tackle set because Russell knocked it back. So there isn't a whole lot wrong there, Murray.
Which is for another day. But, you know, it is a rule I'd like to see looked at because that's just a genuine contest and a great kick. There's got to be some reward for it, not a punishment.
Needed that Parramatta, didn't they? And Bailey Simonson, oof. Good contact. Nane up top. Hands. Been running it more since becoming the starting dummy half. Losing for the injured Josh Hodgson.
It's a good battle, isn't it, tonight between Jermaine Hopgood. Is that silly from Griffin Noon?
He gets on his head. Wait there.
Well, Cohen Hess and Ruben Cotter had
Just
complete
gotta get
control of
cleared
the
first.
tackle. He just didn't need to lift him and put him in that position.
Gee, handy penalty late in the count. Field position now. With Moses getting it to the 30.
Mate, put in the line. Line here.
Well, they're in control there, Hess and Cotter. There's just no need for
And
that.
that's an obvious penalty, well beyond the horizontal. Well, Parramatta here, they were the last team to score. And it seemed they could be just blasted out of this game early. His man Hopgood overran him there. So Azzy just had to take the prudent option. Barlaw straightening. Cotter again down low. That's the try line in front of him. As it comes out for Azzy. Now Moses, back for Cartwright. And that's a great ball and all tackle by Robson, preventing any chance of an offload. Back to the open, Hopgood. Azzy for Moses, delays the pass, and Blake can't haul that in. It wasn't the easiest take, and he would have had work to do. But the gamble there for Moses not paying off.
Well, Trent Barrett there, Parramatta assistant coach, shaking his head. The reaction from Mitch Moses, he shook his head. We saw Drinkwater land one that Valamay was able to catch and score. Wonga Blake unable to reel that one in. Should have caught that one. And Moses filthy with his winger. Oh, no.
Hello, what's happened? The Cowboys just gone off the boil here. And holding on to it this time. Some unforced errors. Nearly another one. Frenetic. Charging it up. Got up. Drinkwater pushing towards halfway. It was almost a clip across the chops there. I think Moses almost conceded defeat on that. Getting away with it. And that kick An easy one for Russell.
Yeah, it was good urgency out of marker there for Bryce Cartwright, getting to Chad Townsend, who then had to hook the ball across his body. Here's the work there. Oh, gee, went close there, that forearm from Bryce Cartwright on Scott Drinkwater.
Let's go down to ground level here, because Brent Tate, you can confirm humid and dewy.
Well, it's not so much humidity, but there is a lot of sweat on the players, and it is a heavy dew on the ground. So when you put those two together, mate, it makes conditions really tricky, and the ball does become a cake of soap. So handling is going to be an issue here tonight.
Almost Sydney-like the level of dew. Thank you, Tatey. Parramatta with one tackle left. And Moses goes to the air. Russell and Penasini on that side, but no match for Murray Taulagi. So Ryan Madison is the number 17, replacing the front rower Ogden. So things have just settled down here a touch. Jason Taumalolo off the bench. The embarrassment of riches here. 4th game back from a knee injury. And his production, he's picked up really from where he left off before he got hurt. Straight into his work. It seems they've got the crowd all excited too. Again, innocuous that kick with Gutherson.
Couple of poor kicks there from Townsend the last 2 sets. He won't be happy with those. You're seeing the injection start to lift their teammates when they see Jason Taumalolo onto the field. 140 metres last week against Manly off the interchange bench as well. What a luxury to bring him into the game at this point of the game.
Cartwright set to sign a new deal with Parramatta. A very good 2023. Madison, plenty of space for him up the middle. Chop down though. 30 on the last, and it's Azzy going to the air. A bit of depth on this kick, not long. No chase either. And it was the fear of the crossbar there that had Drinkwater letting it bounce, and he gets away. And he gets past another. Oh, what a run.
He's a magician. Scotty Drinkwater used the goalpost as a shield and then pinches 20-odd metres upfield. And Chad Townsend earns a penalty.
Big momentum shift here. Going set for a few minutes. But that Drinkwater run has just swung things back in the Cowboys' favour. And it's Taumalolo straight into 4 defenders.
Get the feeling that Drinkwater on the back of that run, he might land another killer blow in this set.
Rufaneem. These are some weapons they've got off the bench. Running some tired players. Now it comes across. Dearden getting involved. Drinkwater delaying the pass. Hiku getting it off. Malabay's got a double. Pass is cleared. It's another try. Townsend, Dearden, Drinkwater, they all combine. And Semi Malamay the beneficiary.
Yeah, what a pickup he's been from the Canberra Raiders. Absolutely brilliant. Let's have a look at the Drinkwater run. It was spectacular out of the in goal. Thought the ball was going to hit the crossbar. Cool, calm, bang. Just starts toying with them with his footwork and speed. Gets out to the 20-odd metre line, and then Townsend earned the penalty. And then great recognition here from Townsend, Dearden and Drinkwater. They recognise that there's a few indecisions out there with Assi, Simonson and Wonga Blake. A few changes on that edges, combinations are not there at the moment, and they go back there and the catch and pass. Townsend direct, Dearden direct, Drinkwater simply through the hands. Great work from Hiku. And Valamay now 7 tries in 6 games.
And they've all been in clumps. Remember, it started here against Melbourne with a hat-trick. Then last time they were here was, well, the shellacking of the Tigers. He scored 2, and already 2 here, and every chance he could add to that tonight.
Yeah, look, you know, when he first came in at Canberra, so young and, you know, had a few errors around his game, but was so powerful. And when he got a shot at the line, whether it was at NRL level or even coming through their NYC system, he was a phenomenal finisher. And since going north, he's alleviated those errors. He's carrying the ball in excess of around 160, 170 metres a week, and proving an excellent finisher on that right edge with Petahiku.
So Wonga Blake is going on report. We'll let you know why in just a moment. Holmes, he's nailed one from here already. And that one, no, he's pulled that badly. So first miss of the night for Val Holmes. 16 points to 4 off the back of the second semi-Valame try.
There's a shoulder charge, Dan. He wedged in really hard here. He's holding, and then bang, just launches.
Jeez.
And got every bit that he could of Petahiku. You can see there, just launches. Fierce, violent contact, isn't it?
Oh, jeez. You suspect, Mick, if that's not a try, might be in the bin. But
Quite possibly, Dan, you're right, yeah.
But it's a try, so 16-4 and remains 13 on 13.
Can they get through a set here after points?
Sculverson kicking deep. Griffin Neal. Straight into them.
Off a Hengawe out there now for Parramatta in jersey 15.
Leilua. It's always hard to put away. Tomalolo running straight at Azzy. Down there. Lane is the bodyguard. Robson feeding Nane, riding a bump with Madison. Strong contact. Looks like they are going to get through this set.
He's been impressive, Ruben Cotter.
Now the kick from Townsend. Anderson has hardly had a chance. He's been in electric form, but he just haven't had much ball at the southern end here.
Great set after points, nice and direct. Started with that tough carry from Neem off the kickoff. Some great carries through the middle from Taumalolo. Nane and Cotter, and an excellent kick from Townsend, just tightening the screws on the Parramatta side.
So Van Gowie in the 15, and Hopgood, who'll play plenty of minutes, Jermaine Hopgood. Here comes to Cartwright, early ball, Hennessini, takes on Holmes, shrugs him away, pops it back, Cartwright crafty, Moses keeps it going, Madison on, hands, with Hopgood providing an offload back to the dummy half. But no panic from the Cowboys. And now it's the last tackle. Possible contest here, but Valame, untouched.
Jeremiah Nene just struggling to stay with the pace of the game a little here. He's really gasping for air at the moment.
Threat of a spread as Holmes puts on a left foot step, but handle. Ball comes out. Oh, that's a killer blow, that.
Every chance of challenging this
There's
Moses.
a slow one, you're
Look
challenging.
at him.
It's slow play the boy, you can't challenge slow.
It doesn't pull the trigger. They've got to do more defending.
Another set now inside Parramatta's half.
Back foot on the line.
You're not going to win a challenge for fighting a slow play the ball, holding down situation. So inside the last 10 of this first half. Crowd really into it now.
Been an excellent first half from the Cowboys as they start to move the ball to that right-hand side. I would be highly surprised if they don't go back to Wonga Blake's side.
Here it comes possibly. Note down with Nane.
Let go of the body. Back here, hold.
Plenty of tackles left. Cotter with the dummy. Moses rushing up on the outside. So Cotter wise to hold on to it. Robson again goes to the left. Townsend. Oh, Leilua didn't look like he was looking at it there as he was peeking at the oncoming defence.
Yeah, a little lack of concentration there from Leilua. Townsend digging deep into the line, looking to put him just on the outside of Moses's body position. Unable to hang on to it.
So highly impressive, the Cowboys, but not perfect.
No.
And this is off a Hengawi. Boy, he's seen a fair bit of the Cowboys. Remember, he farewelled the Tigers. That massive night for them at Leichhardt. His first game for Parramatta was against the Cowboys. And here he is against them again. Cartwright somehow fashioned an offload. Oh, what a shot on Madison! Oh, yes! He might be gassed, but Jeremiah Nene has cut Ryan Madison in half.
Yeah, and this is a great sign of character, this, because he was out on his feet a moment ago, but he's emptying the tank tonight, and it was a nice offload from Cartwright. And you go back to the first carry of the game, and it was Jeremiah Nene that came launching into the contact, as he did here, and just set himself perfectly on this collision with Madison and cut him in half. What a shot from Jeremiah Nene.
Oh, and he's pumped up too. And this will get the crowd even more excited. The 200 gamer, Jake Granville. Seven and a half to go in this first half. Eels have to just hold on here. Tamalolo, as usual, busy the moment he stepped onto the field. That's Neem. Now Grenville. That's it completed. So Drinkwater goes this time towards the Taulungi side. That's a great catch from Gutherson, and finding Penasini, who has managed to get away from Taulungi and pays the price for going backwards to try and get away from Holmes. Good work nonetheless, although now Russell has the ball jolted free.
Couple of great shots from the Cowboys players in under the ball. Brent Tate saying the ball's like a cake of soap at the moment with the dew on the ground. And that's the target. Just below the ball came spewing out there from Sean Russell.
A vicious, totally legal defence. Cowboys on the attack again with Drinkwater. Nene slipping it inside. Hiku with the head fake. Then he puts on a step. Then he tries to underarm it. And it comes away.
It goes behind him. What a knock on.
Parramatta knock on, it seems, but they've avoided a try.
Yeah, again, watch the effort here from Sean Lane. Just some simple footwork, breezes past the Parramatta left-back rower, who is normally so good defensively, and away from Brendan Hands. Gee, Brad Arthur will be disappointed with some of the edge defence out on that left-hand side at the moment for Parramatta. Every time they've been there, they look threatening, the Cowboys.
What about the moves of Hiku? The swerving and the stepping.
Moving very well. Moving very well.
Cowboys. Another opportunity. They've already scored 3 times. Dearden, they're just lurking behind it. They go down the middle with Neem. Now it comes now for Drinkwater. Nene, of course he scores, Jeremiah Nene. It was only a matter of time. He gets another one. His 7th for the year. He's 25th in 39 games. And the Cowboys get further away from the Eels.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much longer Brad Arthur will persist with this left edge at the moment. They have been paper thin in the first half. A great ball there with a bit of width from Robson out to Drinkwater, and just a simple block play. Arcee gets caught up on the lead run from Hiku, and a sharp and vicious right foot again from Jeremiah Nene, the left-hand fend. And boy, can't he find the try line. Jeremiah Nene, what a superstar he is. And isn't he enjoying himself? Forcing errors, scoring tries. Oh, hold on.
Got an obstruction.
Petahiku on the outside shoulder of Dejan Assi.
Just looking at the lead run here of Jeremiah Nanai. Sorry, Peter Hiku. At this point here, he stops in the line of Dejan Arce, denying him a chance to slide. Jeremiah Nanai now steps back through the gap created by that lack of slide and takes his advantage. We have a decision.
Well, it's the age-old problem. You know he's probably going to score, but
yep,
it has to be taken back. The players, it's that crime of stopping. It gives them away. So it did look, even for Nane, it looked a little easy, didn't it?
It did. It was concerning, really concerning. Well, I think that left edge has been a little concerning, to be honest, in the opening half. Even there, their shoulders facing towards the sideline, opening up their inside shoulder.
So back to the Clyde Churchill studio, Vonnie and Cooper Cronk and Mal Meninga taking you through this. So this is talking about Brad Arthur and his perspective. This could have been a lot worse than 16-4. And yet, they're within the two scores, and could they sneak something here just before the break? Azzy holding the ball out in front of him. They've only lost one when he's been the 5'8", and this is his 6th game. Off of Hengawi on to Madison. Madison, he slips it out as he was tackled by Nane. Lane with the flick off of Hengawi. Shrugging away Robson. There'll be 2 tackles remaining after this. And no, there's not 2 left, there's 6 left. And it almost opens up for Cartwright. And then Drinkwater in no hurry to let Cartwright play it. And now a line baller coming here to Luca Moretti. Hard to put down the Italian. Azzy for Moses. Lane running that hard line and almost getting there. Desperate Cowboys defence. Neem and Townsend and Hiku. Parramatta knocking on the door with Azzy for Madison. Moses. Val Holmes has ironed him out. And there is a penalty coming to the Cowboys.
This was a read that had to be made. This was full of experience from Holmes.
We got a captain's challenge from Parramatta. Live decision of offside. Claiming he got tackled high.
It may be high, and that can be the only thing that brings it undone.
Well,
but boy, was it a great read.
If it is high, there might be some consequences. I mean, it looked fantastic live. Now, is there contact with
just looking at the shoulder here
chin?
of Val Holmes.
I think on first look, he hits him on the shoulder, and that gives that whiplash motion of his head coming forward.
Oh, that's not a good angle for him.
At this point, Val Holmes rushes in to make the tackle. There's direct, forceful contact with the shoulder to the head, which is a sin bin.
Oh,
the
no.
challenge will be successful.
Oh, wow. So, well, it's one of the great challenges we've ever seen. And
It hasn't been made. It's a whiplash of a tackle. It's a physical sport, collision sport, right? He hasn't made contact with the head. But the force of the contact, so what is he supposed to use it?
The contact's been reviewed. He has an obligation not to make high contact. Right, and that's what he's done. What else would you want me to say?
do you think?
Successful, Paris still have their challenge.
Do you think he hit him in the head?
I'll go back 10. It's just
We're dealing with angles here, and it's hard to be certain.
I feel like he hits him with his pec and shoulder on Mitch Moses' shoulder, which I think Chad Townsend's right. I think it does bring his head forward into that shoulder, which...
There was one angle there, Mick. As soon as we saw the whiplash, it was all over. Whether it was right or wrong, it was all over for Holmes.
I agree.
So now, Parramatta.
What's happened here?
This is HIA for Griffin Neem. That's all happening here in Townsville. It's a game of millimetres. It's not a game of inches. It's a game of millimetres. It went from the hit of the season to a game-turning play, potentially.
Yeah, well, they need to hold on here desperately, and you just get the feeling Moses And Gutherson are orchestrating something here.
Well, if they can pinch one here, and then though they've got 7 minutes with an extra man to start the second half, it does turn things around. Here's Moses. It almost opens up. It might be 6 more tackles, but Leilua saves a try. Madison getting it on. Oh, Moretti driven into the ground. Nene again with force. As he... Oh, Gutherson. This is suffocating stuff from the Cowboys.
Stand now! Wait, hold, you dropped. Go 3.
Short side. Lane. Almost again. Geez, been close a couple of times tonight. 2 tackles left. A big dummy from Madison, not fallen for. Must get a result here. Azzy. Moses reaches out in front of him. Gutherson, that's touched. So it is a result, but they'll only get one more set here, Parramatta.
Play the ball.
Yeah, the rushing defence on the edges from the Cowboys, causing the ball players some frustration from Parramatta. Dan, at the force that at Holmes came in, if he had direct contact to the head, Mitch Moses is out of the game.
Don't mean to be glib, but Moses' head would be at the sugar shaker if he got him directly in the head. 10 metres away. Off of Hingawi.
Jason off the body.
They will give the Cowboys a standing ovation if they survive this. Now goes Gutherson on, not clean enough there. And then he tries to force it. And Russell, he might get over, but it's called a knock-on.
Yeah, look at the response here from the Cowboys.
That is an extraordinary defensive stand.
Well, Gutherson just had to find a pass. How many times has he done that this year? And even for the first try of the night, his catch and pass normally brilliant. You're right, Dan, just bobbled in his hands for a split second, and a brilliant read from Murray Taulangi up in his face. Yeah, look at this. Look at the reaction from the Cowboys players. A huge defensive period there for the North Queensland side. Oh, yeah, look at this. Cohen Hess.
You can't believe, Mick, this is the team that were blown out of the water down in Cronulla.
Yeah.
We were there at Leichhardt, and the turnaround, the spirit that's there now, and the belief.
And the night at Leichhardt, you thought, how can they simply recover? How can they simply recover this year?
They can make the top 4. Now, we've still got 40 minutes to go here, but they can dream big. And the Cowboys have a buffer. Oh, they're pumped up here in Townsville. They've got 7 minutes to survive with Holmes in the pin. And they've opened up a handy lead. It's North Queensland 16, Parramatta 4. Yes, welcome back. 82% humidity tonight. The Cowboys and the Eels 16-4 North Queensland. An enormous 7 minutes to start this second half with Val Holmes still in the bin. Well, we know him as a try scorer. Boy, he can defend as well. Jeremiah Nana.
Yeah, had a try disallowed, but you're right. It's been his defensive efforts tonight, really setting the tone physically, inspiring his teammates. A couple of brutal shots. One on Madison was a pearler.
Big 40 minutes for these sides. The final 40 minutes of Super Saturday. And it's the North Queensland Cowboys who get things going. They started so fast. 2 tries in the first 8 minutes. And Jason Taumalolo off the bench. It's his 7th run. Looking to go and extend their streak, the Cowboys, to 6 straight. And they haven't been in the 8, the Cowboys, since round 1. So if they hold this result, look at that. And the Melbourne loss quite handy. They've improved their for and against. Top 4 certainly not out of the picture for the Cowboys. For Parramatta, just ahead of South. But don't forget Newcastle and all. Hello, we've got now a man we've been talking about, Nane, clutching at a shoulder. So Wanga Blake bringing him back, the replacement for the suspended Micah Sevo.
It came off that right foot, just got on the inside of Dejan Assi, and he's leaving the field. This is big news for Jeremiah Nene and the Cowboys.
So Griffin Neem, of course, went off just before the break, HIA. And Kulikefu Finife'iaki is into the game. You see the concern there on Ruben Cotter.
Yeah. Watch this bloke go. Finife'iaki, a devastating blow to lose Nene, given how good he's been tonight. Watch this Finife'iaki, absolute powerhouse out on the edge.
Parramatta will feel they need to cash in here with this extra man. And the Madison offload helping Moretti over halfway. Now Gunderson out of dummy half. Oh, Tamalolo, horse collars there. Now Moses with the footwork. Then the pirouette. And that was Cartwright taking a tumble. And now Moses runs into Cowboy there in Taulungi, and referee had a good view of that and has cleared it all. So with 5 to go now with Holmes in the bin, let's send it down to Brent Tate.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Well, news doesn't get much better for the Cowboys because Griffin Neem did fail his test, so he won't be returning tonight. And obviously with Jeremiah Nene off, they're going to be down on troops, so Cowboys look to play with a couple down.
Thank you. It's an all forward pack. That's handy, but certainly down to 16, possibly down to 15. That was a line ball there. Well, it wasn't line ball. The pass might have been touch and go. The tackle was a penalty.
Yeah, and listen to the crowd roaring behind the 200 gamer. Club legend, premiership player Jake Granville, tough as nails in behind the ruck and just cops a high shot there in between Lane and Assi. And the home crowd baying for a sin bin after what happened to Valentine Holmes just before half-time. Oh, and high contact as he collided Assi with the shoulder of Lane.
And some friendly fire across the NRL over this weekend. So Cowboys, this is perfect for them. Get to soak up some time, and you wouldn't put it past this blistering attack to score a try even with a man down.
They've got to keep coming to this right-hand side where they had so much joy in the first half, the Cows.
And that's where Robson goes. Townsend on for Dearden. The dummy not fallen for, clobbered by Moretti. Strong tackle. Drinkwater. Subtle. Not subtle. Finife'iaki almost bulldozes his way over. Now that's a penalty. Well, this is just ideal for North Queensland.
Yeah, Finife'iaki, you could see him just trying to hold up the pass and create some space. Drinkwater on the previous play, and it was there. It's that line that Nene can often run where he just slips on the outside shoulder. This was the play of the ball. You simply cannot reach into the ruck like Bailey Simonson has done there.
No, it's commonplace, Mick, but not a great attempt to play that properly, but obviously that's quite universal. All right, here we go, Cowboys. Oh dear, already he's got blood coming from his nose. Too late to get up there, so an extra tackle. Oh, another tackle. They're destructing here, self-destructing Parramatta. The Cowboys in no hurry here, soaking up time. Staying at the right end, Granville.
Oh, wouldn't they like that if he got one tonight?
Hands all over him. Now it comes with Townsend running into a dead end. The decoy there was Taumalolo. Dearden, long for Leilua. Pushing away Moses, but not Penasini. They just seem content here to soak it up. Wait for perhaps the last tackle to make their move. Hess, now the offload. Robson, Dearden, the kick, great trap, but it turns out to be a terrific result for the Cowboys. So Moses there, well, he blocked it, but at great expense. Parramatta mightn't get this back by the time Holmes gets on the field. Robson. Tamalolo. Just kept short. And done given 6 more away.
That's 3 in a row. Sin bin can't be far away.
Drinkwater steadies. Away from Cartwright. Away from Moretti.
Oh,
Townsend dumping it off. Finefetiaki steaming onto it. That boy's a teenager. Now the little dribble here. Great stuff, Reece Robson. And they have done it. They have done it. They have hardly had to defend in this period after half-time. Down a man. That's textbook for North Queensland.
yeah, really well managed. Here he comes. Queensland superstar Valentine Holmes back after that high contact on Mitch Moses. And you're right, Dan, just soaking up huge amounts of possession, making Parramatta's tackle count climb rapidly. And another full set attacking Parramatta's line. Short dropout.
It's got the 10. And comes away for Blake. Well, they needed that, Parramatta.
You're normally so good in the air, Jeremiah Nene, and it was Finefetiaki there. Just a little unsure whether to go up and contest the ball.
Have some Cowboys towards the end of the game, even though it's a home game and they're used to these conditions, just low on energy, given they've lost Neem and they've potentially lost Nane.
Well, it turns out to be a real confidence boost in a great period defensively for Parramatta to repel the attack of the Cowboys on 3 or 4 back-to-back sets.
So Moses with the deep kick. The chase here from Cartwright. Oh, we almost spooked Taulagi. He's a composed player, Murray Taulagi. No panic once he bobbled it. So this threatened to be a score feast with 3 tries in the first 15 minutes.
Cartwright too.
Yeah.
Had that have brushed Cartwright, that would have been a turnover. I think it might have.
Couldn't challenge because play wasn't dead. Refused to challenge Parramatta, but they were successful. That kick.
Great kick from Townsend on play forward.
Gutherson going backwards here and made even better the kick by the chase.
And it's so important on nights like tonight against sides travelling from New South Wales, not used to this humidity, driving it low on play 4 in behind the fullback and just loading up with your kick chase, turning the big men around. Great play from Townsend.
Footwork here from offhand Yowie. Oh, that's a very late pass. Too late, that pass.
Previous tackle was 3, I believe.
Yeah. It'll be 33 metres out here in front. Oh, hang
Front
on,
rowers challenge. The front rowers challenge.
Previous tackle before that was 3. They're ruling the decision of pass off the ground.
It looked very late. It looked like that arm had touched the ground, hit hard from the tackle of Jake Granville. Yeah,
The ball carrying arm of Joe Offengawi is in contact with the ground. Jake Granville is in contact. This is the completion of the tackle.
You've been bluffed, Gutho.
He now passes the ball. The challenge is
been bluffed.
unsuccessful.
No more challenges, Parramatta. Coley, Liam, go on, Matt.
Cowboys yet to use their challenge. Now, what do the Cowboys do here? You would think they'd go for 2, ball on the ground yet. Holmes poised to get this to a 3-score margin.
Gutho probably just saying to Grant Atkins, surely you can tip me up. Help me out,
But a bit like when Eddie sort of second guesses. So the referee said, now it is a front rower.
That's right.
Gutho, it is a front rower.
That's right. Are you sure? Yeah.
You lock it in. Holmes, we're getting plenty of practice from wide out tonight. This one, it's simply about keeping it on track with this 33 metres out. Should swallow this up. Cowboys looking for 6 straight wins. Whoa, kisses the upright and goes through. And the perfect angle here on the Fox League. 18 points to 4, North Queensland.
Dan, just an injury report on Jeremiah Nene. He won't return tonight. He has succumbed to that shoulder injury, which will be a big loss for the Cowboys. We know how damaging he's been with and without the ball tonight, so a big loss for the Cowboys.
Yeah, the question is, Tatey, just how long is he going to spend on the sidelines? We're not that far from finals, you know.
Yeah.
And they've got to lock in that spot. And it's going to be...
Yellam
It's gonna be a
still
loss.
out as well.
Yeah, coming back though, I believe.
Yes.
So, and you see the bench depth, but a loss. Jeremiah Nene, but certainly out for this game tonight. Parramatta
Away there, trying to right some wrongs, coming out of the line after coming up with the error in the penalty.
Oh, Lailua.
Oh, yeah,
Straight
there it is.
down the middle there, getting it on
comes Holmes.
Taulagi. Holmes just couldn't quite time his run with Taulagi, caught up there by Gutherson. What a run, Lailua. There's Townsend on, Finefetiaki. He's looked strong from the outset tonight. Still 3 tackles left. Robson, Drinkwater. The turn back to Townsend on to Dearden. The 3 playmakers again combining. Robson running. Robson almost through. Oh, just kept out by Madison. Parramatta barely holding on. Last, Townsend. Townsend! Oh, Lane! And he cops one too, and he's been hurt.
Got an injury here.
Now.
But you can have a look and see where he gets contacted here.
Yeah, they're going to check this. And Lane is in a bit of bother.
He doesn't look well, does he? Oh, Sugar. No. His elbow. Boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, my word. Oh, that looks painful. Yeah. Yeah.
He's got his leg there, he dives at his knee.
So Sean Lane, he has had a rotten season with injury. The broken jaw, the hamstring.
The form last year, like one of the best back rows in the competition. Some of the stuff he did last year was exceptional. And you're right, Dan. Devastating blow. He's had a wretched run of injuries this year that started through the trial period.
He almost looked, I mean, we're watching from a distance here in shock at the start of that, but can't take a break, Sean Lane. And he'd been so good, hadn't he, since coming back into this side, and the impact was obvious, but well, that elbow injury there, that looks nasty.
Particularly with Dylan Brown coming back in a fortnight, their combination out on the left-hand side was absolutely lethal at times last year. Davey onto the field now for Lane.
So you would think almost certain we won't see him again. So 16 on 15 now. Cowboys losing 2. Barlaw driven back. Oh, that's just fierce. Cohen Hess.
He's copped some treatment tonight, Madison, hasn't he?
Cartwright. Penasini's strong, but still can't get past Taulagi. And now Moses under pressure. Doesn't get much on that. Valamay. Look at the field position the Cowboys have earned with their defence, and a penalty. Just to add to it, and Parramatta's getting frustrated.
Yeah, Moses had to kick deep behind his attacking line, and Grant Atkins saying that they were well in front of him. Look at this, miles downfield. Miles downfield. Davey, Assey, and no doubt penalty there, no option there for Grant Atkins. And all the field position, it has been all down this end of the field.
It's been all Cowboys, hasn't it, in this second half?
Yeah.
Nothing to show for it yet except the penalty goal. Oh, Tamalolo. He's a super sub. Here it comes, surely. Did it! Well taken, Barlaw. Parramatta has held on grimly in this second period. Townsend. Geez, they've run into a few dead ends, but they've never panicked. And now it opens up for Drinkwater. The seas part. The Scotty Drinkwater, forward defence. Into the crowd it goes. I don't think he can believe it opened up like that. He just knew it was coming.
Yeah, Townsend just holding the ball up, ball in two hands, and just waited and waited and waited till someone just didn't land on their assignment, and it was off the hand Galway, who just hesitated, who just walked, who just stopped, and the good players find you at this level. And Drinkwater, what a season he's put together, over untouched, and drives one straight down to mid-wicket.
Look at the technique, high elbow. he played cricket, Scott Drinkwater.
That was very good, and nice little bit of deception from Townsend as well. Madison just over committing to Townsend, front foot out, down the wicket. And Scotty Drinkwater lands a killer blow for the Cowboys.
Soon you think these Cowboys get it a little off there, and Townsend was sort of caught in no man's land. There it is. Drinkwater. He's got all the tries.
Gee, no, that's out of the middle. That's down to long on, not mid-wicket. That's nearly hit the back fence, that.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a small field where you play, Mick. Forward defence. Now,
Close.
the way he's playing at the moment, he's timed it straight out of the middle, as Tony Grigg would say, out of the meat of the bat. But playing at North Sydney Oval, according to you. So Scott Drinkwater, about to say, all those try assists, but he's now got 6 tries in his last 5 games. He's everywhere. I'll tell you what, we've got a serious conversation down the track about Dally M fullback of the year. Clint Gutherson's had a great year, but geez, the form this man's in, Scott Drinkwater.
Yeah, Drinkwater.
I mean, Dylan Edwards,
So
the hammer.
There's been Reece Walsh.
Oh, Reece Walsh. We had him with an up and under last night. Gutherson almost tonight. Reece has looked much more fun though after that somersault. There's Hess again first. I'll bring it back. So now the margin opens up to 20.
They've really won the physical battle, haven't they? Both with and without the ball tonight, the Cowboys. The ruck speed's just been lightning quick.
You've got support, Mick. The great Brad Haddon just texts me. He's a baseball man, Drinkwater. No forward defence in his repertoire. This is Tamalolo. Another effective set there. Gutherson just hasn't had room tonight. Oh, man, it's the brutality as well. It's the suffocation and the brutality.
Yeah, I love this kid, Fenifuiaki. The interchange powerhouse for the Todd Payton side. Absolutely brutal. Just finding his feet at the top level. But, boy, I mean, the luxury of riches that they have in their back row. Leilua, powerful, been strong tonight. Lukey to come back. The injury to Nene might be a cruel blow, but to have this youth and power of Fenifuiaki to be able to come into the side.
Not good. Now Moses going to try something here. Gets away from Leilua on the Cartwright, the quick hands. That's nice. Now the kick from Russell. The bounce of the ball just has not gone their way all night, and the desperation from the Cowboys telling once again.
That was beautiful from Parramatta. The catch and pass out on the edge started with Moses and Penasini. Was absolutely fantastic, but the desperation of Holmes just as good. Look at this. Catch and pass. Nice from Cartwright. Nice from Penasini. And then just look at this. Holmes just desperate to get around Penasini to get the ball.
That was a great toe there from Penasini too. That exactly where it needed to be, but Holmes getting there first. Finifeyaki debuted, of course, Magic Round. From that moment, he has seemed like a young man that belongs at this level. Andrew Quarter. Oh, he gets away with it. No distance on that kick, but it could have been worse.
He hasn't done much wrong this season. That one just a little off the outside boot, looking for the torpedo downfield. And finally, Parramatta are going to get some good field position here. Midway through the set, they should be well inside the Cowboys' half.
This game can draw comparisons to, remember, Darwin last year, where I think for the first time the league public really took notice of the Cowboys as a serious team. Sapping conditions, 35-4 that night. And this is Wanga Blake.
Oh, they're a serious footy team. There's no doubt they're a competition threat. It's just how much damage did the start of the season do? How much work have they had to put in to get themselves back into a reasonable position, and will that burn them out at the back end of the year?
Parramatta bringing out all the toys now, but the Cowboys just don't panic. Hopgood just closing in on that 20. One solitary line break for the Eels. Here's a hard-running Cartwright, and the offload to Gutherson. And the pass, that's off Drinkwater. That should be 6 more tackles, and is. Parramatta throwing the kitchen sink here in attack at the Cowboys. And didn't. That had to be 6 more tackles. Now Madison at close range. Shoots that out. That's again off Cowboys' hands. Moses goes down. So another set begins. His hands spinning.
He's worked his backside off, hasn't he, Reece Robson?
Hopgood dummy half. Moses on the right, Cartwright. He's getting the offloads away at will now. Then the netball pass from Barlaw. Penasini. Moses, they'll try the left now as he runs, passes, comes to Gutherson. Gutherson spinning. Drops it behind him. Now, it's a knock on Cowboys, but this is extraordinary defence because Parramatta is the second best attack in the comp, and they're throwing all their plays at the North Queensland side.
Overall backwards off Parramatta, toss backwards. Knock on off Cowboys, Penaiku.
Oh, Grant Atkins running the Ocean and Earth bodyboard wrist strap with his whistle tonight.
Ball's passed backwards from
There's
Clint
the ball
Gutherson.
backwards
There's no
from
touch from the
Gutherson.
Cowboys at this point. We're playing on.
Knocked back there from Parramatta.
Just looking at the fingers here of the Cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
Flicks the finger of the Cowboy there.
That's offside,
forward,
isn't it?
which is a knock on.
Unless it's
The challenge
touched,
is unsuccessful.
So touched Simonson there, so that prevents offside, but knock on nonetheless.
Yeah, and you're right, Dan. When Parramatta get going, particularly their offloads,
more
they are so
challenges.
hard to handle. And the scramble defence from the Cowboys, who are a little fresher, given the amount of possession that they've had, have been able to hold on. But there's still plenty of time left.
What was your observation, Mr. Surfection?
And he's got the Ocean and Earth
Oh, sorry, Kelly.
wrist strap.
Oh,
That whistle's not going anywhere.
here we go. Mr. Surf culture.
Ah, shout out to Triple Bull down in Cronulla.
All right, here's Gutherson defeated. Fair dick. Now it's Penasini. Their lone try came in the 15th minute as they attacked the right side and Russell went over in the corner. Gutherson, there's the pass. Blake, the sliding defence. Blake inside 3, 4, 5 of them, but no closer to the line. As he, Madison,
I saw
oh,
Holmes coming.
Moses took evasive action. Barlaw flat-footed, still got the fend. Oh, there's a strong shot, but Davey unloading. So does Simonson. Barlaw. Now they're going under the legs. And the Cowboys have held on. Oh, that's as good as it gets defensively.
Yeah, numbers coming from everywhere, inside and out, and Simonson there just kept the ball alive. Both Barlaw then gets the ball, and then Simonson. That's just frustration, given how well they are moving defensively, this Cowboys lineup, and it's been an enormous improvement from that mid part of the year, from that dreadful day being launched back to Leichhardt Oval by their coach the following day after that harrowing loss. It has been quite the turnaround.
Yes, that team conceded 11 tries.
That's right.
Oh, that's how things can turn here. They looked absolutely gone. And they're going to be, it seems, in the top 8. And that looked so far away when they were 16th. They've conceded 4 tries in nearly 4 entire games. Dearden. Leilua. Awkward, but okay. Contest coming. Hiku, early jump. Oh, great composure, Wang and Blake. Parramatta here.
That's a strong moment, Simonson.
He's been great for a couple of months, hasn't he? Moses on now. Well, that's a lovely, crafty play. Moses out on the wing. With Sean Russell just happy to pick it up and take the metres, which gets him over halfway. Barlow catch and pass. Hopgood to the line. Madison with the flick. Azzy immediately to Gutlerson. And oh, another strong tackle. That's Valame.
Doing great, Valame.
Into the ribs of Bailey Simonson. Hopgood. There's an offload.
Well, the offload count now really climbing for Parramatta.
As it comes here to Ryan Madison. That's, well, it was 16 offloads before that play. Moses, the cutout. Plenty of Cowboys defenders out there. Somehow it finds Penasini. Not played at. Handover. They survive again, North Queensland.
Yeah, look at that, 18-4. The offload count for Parramatta.
Ryan, you're on report for a hip drop previous set.
There you go. Oh, it was the tackle on Luciano Leilua where he went down very awkwardly, and there's Madison coming down onto the back leg, and Leilua in real discomfort. You can see there.
What is it they say? Grab, twist and drop. Yeah. And he put his weight on the legs. That's the one they don't like.
Yep.
Ryan, let go! He's sent home.
And frankly, if it was dealt with on the spot, he might have got 10 in the bin there.
Yeah.
Most offloads in a game, by the way, 24 this year. Canberra against the Dolphins early in the season. You fancy Parramatta's going to crack that the way they're going here tonight. The Cowboys have all the answers. Now McLean got up very gingerly there. Townsend, unpressured. Gutlerson. It's not as if they're not trying here, Parramatta, that's for sure, but Gutlerson.
No, you're right, they've been out enthused and out competed. And they've lost the physical battle, and on the back of it, some of the class of the Cowboys players have been able to find points. But it's been an impressive performance so far from the North Queensland Cowboys. Particularly defensively. The way they've moved defensively has been ultra impressive.
This is Hopgood. Here comes Madison, Barlaw. Here it comes. The offload to Azzy. And it goes now to Cartwright, keeping Dearden at bay. There's just nowhere for Penasini to go, but somehow he just breaks through. That's the most effective way. On to Gutherson, finding Brendan Hands. It's like they've got more than 13 on the field, the Cowboys. Last tackle here for Moses. Sweeping across. As he away now, Simonson. Blake. Oh, he stuttered. And it's another changeover.
The way their edges are connected tonight, the way they're getting forward and their patience has been sensational. Been very, very good. There's been one time tonight where Taulagi jammed in and got himself caught in field, and that allowed the try to Parramatta. Other than that, they've been really well connected. Look at their body positions here, working hard from the inside, trapping Wonga Blake with no room to move. You see Brad Arthur just watching on there in disbelief that with the amount of ball they've actually had over the last 10 or 15 minutes, they just can't find a way through.
The really good teams enjoy their defending. They enjoy
they build their confidence on the back of their defence. They build trust and confidence. There's a live ladder. Parramatta now down to 8th in North Queensland, from 9th position up to 7th inside the top 8.
Well, Parramatta play Melbourne at Marvel Stadium, and I understand Craig Bellamy just launched into the storm after their loss to Newcastle today, so you know Melbourne are going to come out firing.
Yeah.
So that's a big test for Parramatta. Souths are just on the edge of the top 8.
Cowboys only 2 points outside of 4.
And
it's a wild old ride this season.
they're playing as good as just about anyone, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah.
What about the Cowboys' next home game? Brisbane, here, Saturday afternoon. Wow, it's not a question of when that game will be sold out, or if it will, it's when. It might already be all tickets exhausted. Saturday 3 p.m. and then it's off to Perth for a double header. That's a fortnight away, but
boy, Townsville will be a lot. If you've ever been there, to be good fun on the Saturday night after a 3 o'clock game. Walking distance from the stadium.
So Parramatta now. Still 11 minutes to go here.
We going to that game?
I would certainly hope so. Now, I haven't seen the schedule, but here's Simonson. In a funny mood tonight, Mick. Now comes here to Gutherson, puts the foot down and he's away. Then the swerve, then the pass to Moses. That's a classy Parramatta try. They've thrown everything they've had at the Cowboys, and finally they get some reward.
Yeah, if they were going to split them tonight, it was going to be that man there, Mitch Moses, or Clint Gutherson, the fullback. They've been in great form, been in sensational form coming into tonight's game. Barlow ball playing through the middle. You could see there, it was McLean, the big front rower, caught in field, unable to move laterally at the speed of Gutherson, who was able to get on his outside. Great ball playing here. That attracted the attention. There's Gutherson, who accelerates into the hole. And as he always does, Moses, that speed of Moses turns half chances into points, and always supporting through the middle. And the Parramatta fullback adds the extras.
So 10 to go, 14 the margin. 24-10, North Queensland over Parramatta.
Dan, there's still plenty of time. The Cowboys are getting a stern talking to back there from their trainer, Paul Bowman, just laying down the law. I'm sure Toddy Payton will want them to finish this game strongly. Still plenty of time for Parramatta. And if there's a team that can attack and put points on the board, it's Parramatta. So still a long way from home.
We've seen it twice this weekend. The Raiders able to mount a comeback over at Mount Smart last night. We saw it with the Titans today, piling on 18 points really quickly.
Remember, they've been down to 15 for quite some time. You've got to think there's tired defenders to run at. And the passes, while there is cover there, the passes are sticking. Certainly have been for this second half for Parramatta. They get another one quickly. They're going to get this crowd murmuring. Now it's Moses working that right side again. just happy to work it down the middle with 2 plays left. Hands to Moses.
Offload's really starting to trouble the Cowboys, throwing caution to the wind, the Parramatta side.
Oh, bad play the ball. They don't get a last tackle.
You were not even to your feet and you tried to put it down.
No challenge available. Not that they necessarily win that anyway. Challenge is gone for the night.
Yeah, just trying to play the ball a little too quick there. And it's an area that they've cracked down on. Moses demanding that Granville just gave him no room to play the ball. He had an argument, but one of those calls where just trying to play it too quickly, the ball comes loose. Hard to argue that one. 8.5 minutes to go. Cowboys will want to really control possession here to close out this game.
Look at that completion rate in these conditions, 33 from 37.
Yeah, 89%. It's fantastic.
But a lot of hands on knees here. Quite bunched. Hiku's been struggling a little for the last few minutes. He was down there.
Well, the PA starts to get going. Cowboys, he loves it.
McLean, Cowboys, very different game to Parramatta, just 4 offloads tonight. It's been blunt force from them. Granville given some treatment from Hopgood. Another completed set. Another chip kick. And Valame escorted by Blake over the line. That was good thinking from Wanga Blake. The Parramatta time is a wasting here.
They'll be happy to have just got through that set, the Cowboys. Parramatta had about 70% of the footy over the last 10 minutes prior to that last set from North Queensland, and to turn it over only 10 metres out from Parramatta's line. It was a well-constructed set from the Cowboys.
Hey, tomorrow, 2 games. Panthers, Bulldogs. The gang back together with the Panthers. And live and exclusive there as now a pass off a Cowboy. Well played. And Cotter and also the dummy half Robson combining. So Panthers, Bulldogs, and then curious game. Cronulla, Manly from the Shire. Both sides coming off defeats. Sunday afternoon footy from PointsBet Stadium there. Of course, every game, every round, live ad break free here. And then Matty Johns after the 2 games. Here's Dearden, back for Holmes. Holmes with a step. Now he straightens. Then a flick pass. Drinkwater takes a tumble. Might have all the offloads, but they've still got plenty of flair. But now they've got a knock on. And here's Penasini almost getting away. They miss a chance to really put this game to bed once and for all. The Parramatta would have to be perfect from here to give themselves any sort of hope. Joe Offahengawi back in the game. Oh, Fini Fatiaki with the shot. Can't stop the offload though, and Offahengawi there takes an awkward tumble. But he's okay. Gutherson down the middle has spotted an opening and he's through. And then loose pass, brilliant kick by Moses. The chase is on. Moses gets there. Maybe she's not over. Well, Parramatta. They might have had the Cowboys' curiosity. Now they've got their attention. 10 down, 5 to play.
If you're not a Parramatta supporter, you still love this effort. Gutherson, with only 5 minutes remaining in this heat in Townsville, still competing. Down by 14 points, still just toiling away, gets out of dummy half, takes it upon himself. The captain of Parramatta, trying to inspire his teammates, gets the ball along the ground, and there he is, Moses again, the combination. The fullback and halfback pressing together. Moses gets the ball down.
Looks clean, but let's make sure.
And Parramatta pick up their 3rd 4-pointer of the night, and now within 10. Rallying a late comeback, the Parramatta side.
So 2 tries for Moses. For all this dominance, it's 4 tries to 3. That long-range goal from Holmes early in the second half is quite crucial, especially with Moses making it an 8-point game, and there's still 4 minutes left. So Brad Arthur, his expression really hasn't changed. Just a little bit of hope here. You got to say this about the Eels. They never gave up here, even when all their attack was repelled. They've always kept hammering away.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's areas of their game that Brad Arthur will be really pleased with, and other areas, yeah, particularly their left-hand side in that first half.
Good put down.
Stay line.
But the effort of the fullback and the halfback in particular certainly won't be questioned. They've been outstanding tonight in catches, Moses and Gutherson.
So Parramatta still have to be just about perfect, and they still have to come up with 2 scores. 17 offloads in their second half alone. Conservative first couple of plays. Andrew Davey there. Hopgood for Gutherson, out to Moses. Now Penasini almost gets past Val Holmes. Important there from the winger Taulagi. But Parramatta asking questions. Barlow. They knew to lock that arm up there, Robson and Leilua. Oh, they'd love a 6 again. Moses working to the Cartwright side. They're really profiting down that side at the moment. Oh, high tackle. Now they could take a 2 here, Mick. They could take a 2 and get this to a 1-score game.
Yeah, Gutherson's on the same page as you. And
Time back on.
offload count now really climbing, 26 for Parramatta. That's the most.
Oh, Moses has ignored him, has he?
Time off. Wait.
They want to score now.
Get my blokes in position first.
He sensed the Cowboys are on their heels here and most vulnerable. So you saw Gutherson with the 2 fingers in the air, but Moses, he made the call. As he gets it on to Davey. They look likely every play. Oh, Simonson, it looked like a great catch. And the gamble does not pay off for Parramatta.
Don't overreact.
It's not over yet. 8 the margin.
Don't overreact.
Time ticking here. This helps North Queensland.
Time's still on. Go back.
Yeah, beautiful work from Davey. Really good hole. Charged into it, got the right arm free. Simonson unable to hang on to it. And some frustration there in the coach's box. Motion spilling over a fraction.
Look at this time, just ticking away. So it looks like that might just be it, but
Bit of fallout, Dan. Plenty of fallout from the game. So the injury to Jeremiah Nene, plenty to talk about there.
Griffin Neem, by the way, category 2.
Yep.
So he might be back next game if he passes all the protocol, but you're right.
The injury to Sean Lane, what looked to be a dislocated elbow, and will the match review committee have any dramas with the high contact from Valentine Holmes on Mitch Moses?
And a hip drop, Ryan Madison.
Yeah, so plenty to look at.
Well, they'll be busy down there at the Clyde Churchill studio, Vonnie and Mal and Cooper. Cowboys here just looking to finish this off there. They're just about cooked, it seems. They put everything into that first 60 minutes or so. And really, that 10 minutes where they were down a man and they didn't concede has proven such a difference maker. Press conferences live, of course. So it comes now to Townsend, kicking towards the corner. And that's a good bounce. No 20-metre tap, 7 tackle set. Well, we know now the clock does stop if a team scores. In all seriousness, Mick, should they have taken the 2?
Well, Moses, you could see it was a clear directive. He wanted them to open up the field on that left-hand side to come back to the right-hand side. He felt confident. I'm happy either way there.
They'd still have to go.
I still think the Cowboys win.
Moses, all a bobble, Cartwright Typical
offloads
offload.
have been unbelievable.
Most offloads by any team this year, and it's by some margin.
Like, unbelievable the amount of offloads they've got in the second half.
Moses here with the kick. And that's it. The crowd knows now it's over. Well, the Cowboys looked like they were going to knock Parramatta out. But they've ended up winning on points because this one has gone the distance. But the North Queensland Cowboys, for the first time, are inside the top 8. And they are spent. The tanks are empty. But they've been rewarded. They take a huge step to another appearance in the finals. And Parramatta on the edge of the top 8. From Townsville, full time, North Queensland 24, Parramatta 16.